right, so we're here with the co-founders of Based Balm, Troy and Rizzy.
How we doing?
How we doing? Thanks for having us on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks.
dude, of course, absolutely. So, for you guys who don't know, I've been posting Based Balm all over my stories. It is a hell of a product, all natural, not many ingredients. And so I've actually went out to Punta Cana recently. Everyone around me is getting burnt, throwing all this soy screen on. But I had the Based Balm on the whole time, haven't been burnt, and it's just been amazing. So wanted to have the guys on, talk about their product and what made you guys get started.
Yeah, man, I'm glad to hear it's working for you. So I guess it kind of started from our first journey into fitness. It's kind of the journey down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So eventually, when you just get into fitness and weightlifting and bodybuilding type things, you go down a nutrition rabbit hole, and then from there you go down the holistic health rabbit hole. Then you realize there's so many things that are just not helping you in an aesthetic journey in modern society, and that was kind of how we started from there.
Yeah, and when we first started this journey, we were starting to get focused on aesthetics, improving our health, and that goes for eating, skincare, and so that's kind of how Based Balm started. We wanted to make a line of products that were healthy, that you feel good using, and especially with the ingredient transparency, we know all the bad ingredients and all these products. We wanted to make something that everyone would love and feel healthy using.
Yeah. So what made you guys focus on skincare? Because I went over to your place in Wilmington and a lot of sun exposure. Is that what made it in? You guys were seeing the effects of the sun? I mean, I'm all about soaking in the cosmic rays, but
Yeah, of course.
We need to add something here.
Yes, I guess first we're just learning about how bad sunscreen is for you.
Yeah.
All the chemicals are just a low-hanging fruit in society. It's everyone's using this thing. They want to be out in the sun, but now we're lathering up to stop getting sun, especially when we live inside so much nowadays. So that was the first low-hanging fruit. Was we don't need sunscreen. Let's find something better.
Yeah.
And then he had some initial ideas to bring in the tallow, which was an awesome find.
Yeah, and another thing is when we made the balm, we basically researched and we wanted to hand pick a set of ingredients that would provide a bunch of different good things. So moisture from the beef tallow, the sun protection from the mango butter, and the beeswax. So we try to make a product that kind of helped you just be able to go outside and get a lot of sun exposure and not have to put chemical sunscreen on your skin. So
yeah.
The first test batch was down in Miami, and a lot of sun there. And the only person who got burned on a trip, we were hitting Muscle Beach. We were out in the sun all day for a week straight. Only person who got burned was the person who was using Based Balm and using sunscreen.
Oh, dude, love to see it. And isn't it? I don't know if it's disheartening, but how much sunscreen is pushed on unsuspecting minds. They're just oh, this is just how it's been. But sunscreen's what 100-year solution. It's just been around recently, and the sun's we co-evolved with the sun. The sun's always been there. So I don't know. When did you guys realize that there's this narrative that's pushed that sun's the enemy? And when did you guys realize that's all BS?
Honestly, I have a funny story. When I was a younger kid, my mom used to always try to lather me up in sunscreen. And for some reason, I just kind of knew as a kid that it was bad for me. Specifically for me, when I would go into chlorine, the sunscreen would react and my skin would feel like it was burning. So at first I was like, there's no way this is good for you. Then once I got into the fitness journey, we started going down the seed holes are bad for you, rabbit hole and all of that. And we just looked at the ingredients in sunscreen, and you can look at each one individually, and none of them are good for you. None of them are good for human skin. So we just knew we had to make something that'll counteract all this bad stuff.
And what's crazy is some of the ingredients in sunscreen, they're in studies, they turn carcinogenic, but only under UV radiation. So it's the exact use case for this chemical. It's benzene, all these other ones. They're so bad for you, and they're especially bad under sunlight, which is the main purpose. So it's just doesn't make any sense. It's terrible
at all. Yeah, that's so funny. And then you touched on seed oils. What made you guys realize that it's not just topically what you put on your skin, but your largest organ, but what you consume too, and how prominent these seed oils are in all our food? When did you guys realize that?
Dude, that was nuts to find out. It's kind of I guess it comes from the as within, so without health mindset. You want your skin to be healthy, but if you're not healthy yourself, then it's going to be a hard battle. So we're trying to go from both angles, internal health, but also providing your skin nutrients. The seed oil rabbit hole, probably in the past couple of years, just realizing what it came from. It was originally an engine lubricant back in like the 70s, and then it was extremely cheap to make, so they just started swapping out all the tallow and other healthy oils for this, and then it was just pushed as healthy because it's super cheap. And then they have the media pushing seed oils, vegetable oils. It's just
yeah, and it was very recently that I kind of discovered the whole seed oils are bad thing. And there's a lot of resources on it now, like Carnivore MD, the Meat Mafia podcast. There's a lot of people that are, displaying all this information to show how bad it is. And it's funny, once I figured out like how seed oils are made and how bad they are for you, I've realized that when I will go to restaurants and eat certain foods with seed oils, I'll like have a certain bad smell after, just immediately feel the effects of my skin. So now, I honestly try to avoid seed oils as much as possible. I know it's hard, especially eating out, but if you eat inside a lot, you can control that and not cook with any seed oil. So that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if you guys share the same sentiment, but I kind of feel like it's kind of done on purpose, because once you, and you guys, everyone listening, once you stop eating seed oils and you start eating grass-fed butters and like ghee and coconut oil, like actually like good fats, you'll start to notice that your energy's back. You feel a little bit more like charged up and electric. And I actually think, I don't know if you guys share this sentiment, but I actually think they put in canola oil and all these seed oils into our food, not just because it's cheaper, but because it reduces your energy. And it
100%.
Yeah, I think it's easier to control someone who's like, if their body and like their mind's not activated like 100%. I think that's something more sinister that's going on.
Yeah, and what's crazy is you zoom out and look at the whole food industry. Basically, every brand is just a sub part of like 4 giant companies, and these enormous companies are also like right and tied up with the pharmaceutical industry, all these medicinal industries. And so it's like, if people are suffering from what they eat, then it just makes more profit for this other industries that profit off sick people. So why would they want you to be healthy if you can't make money off a healthy, independent person? So it's quite the web.
Yeah. Want you as a tax slave, and they can't have you as a tax slave if you're just thriving. So they're just
so
I'm sick and fat.
How about you? What got you started your journey?
Well, you guys mentioned Carnivore MD. That was an interesting one. My buddy Mikey, he said, "Hey man, you should check out this person." That was about a year ago. And so he had a book, Carnivore Code, read that, and immediately started cutting out all these vegetables I was eating. Like chicken and broccoli was like my go. And chicken, not like technically nothing wrong with chicken, but an American chicken is like loaded with all these like corn and like steroids and stuff. But I started cutting out chicken because the Carnivore Code, he's like, why would you eat an inferior source of meat when you have like red meat? Like try to like that. So I made that switch and immediately just felt better. And then cutting out broccoli and all these like cruciferous veggies and like beans, like all that stuff, and like my gut, I was no longer feeling bloated. My skin started to clear up. I felt more energetic. And so I was like, there's probably something to this. And then a lot of people have this misconception that Carnivore Code is just organs and meat, but it's the whole like whole foods spectrum. So you have your honey, you have your raw dairy, you have fruits, you have meat, organs. That's actually huge, because eating red meat only, it has, I forget what it's called, meth something, is like some kind of like chemical. But if you eat too much of that, it's not that good for you, because you're supposed to balance it out with like the collagen and like the glycine that is in the connective tissue. So we're supposed to eat nose to tail anyways. So I got into doing that, ate a lot of organs. You guys eating organs too?
Yeah, we're schlonking some raw liver.
Yeah. Raw liver, dude, with some maple syrup or honey. And dude, it's a world of difference, honestly. Like a lot of people like give what's his name, the Liver King, a lot of slack. Like I think he's on gear, but whatever. Like his message, 100%.
Give him a pass.
It's in the past, but he's there's a lot of good content out there telling you how to thrive. So I mean, it's been, and it's not like new. Like we're talking about going back to our roots. Like this stuff's available. We're talking about the sun here. We're talking about animal fats. So
yeah, it's crazy how it seems controversial, and really everything that's normalized today is the new controversial take on our ancestral history. So it's like it seems like so different and bizarre, but it's like this is just how we grew up as a species eating. This is how we got to where we are today. Only until recently we've started just warping everything.
Exactly. And
yeah,
it works. I mean, one of the things that I always say is a little controversial. I don't really think so though. But like if your doctor looks sick and obese and is telling you, hey man, you should cut out eggs, you should not be eating organs, you should not be doing that, and they look sickly.
yeah.
You know what? There's another doctor, Paul Saladino, Carnivore MD, surfing every day, just crushing it, thriving, full energy. And he's
Sean Baker.
exactly
Yeah.
like Mark, all these guys. Like, I mean, I'd rather just like go after like example, like people who are actually like, walking the walk. And so I've been doing that, just following people who actually have results, and it's been working. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can just tell how you feel. Like if you eat a meal with seed oils, or if I have like French fries or something like that, it's just cooked in whatever, you just feel like awful. But when you eat like a nice like meat and fruit and honey based diet, you don't get that post meal just slump. Like you're still up, which just shows it's just working.
Yeah. And it's like a positive feedback loop, because one of the things about seed oils is that it has a bunch of omega-6s, and you want like a good ratio between your omega-3s and omega-6s.
Right.
If you have too many omega-6s, it's hyper-inflammatory, and your skin like is gonna get sunburnt more easily. So if you eat more like natural animal fats, you won't get that like huge spike of omega-6s. You won't get burnt, which is really cool. You can be outside all day like we used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So aside from the balm you guys made, like you guys have other products too?
Yeah, so we're growing the sweet. So our flagship is the balm, beef tallow, raw honey, beeswax, olive oil, mango butter, jojoba, fresh lemon. And then we also have the lip feelers, the lip balm. This one is coconut oil, beeswax, vitamin E, peppermint oil, lavender oil, and chamomile oil, and chamomile. And it smells so good, but it kind of gives you like a lip pump, and we have different strengths. So if you're not about that, the girls seem to love that. But yeah, so we have this one, and then we have Wave Wash, which is like the all natural mouthwash. This one's alkaline water, aloe vera, baking soda, xylitol, peppermint oil, tea tree oil, and Himalayan salt. And this one just makes you feel really refreshed, compared to like modern mouthwashes that destroy your biome, your natural mouth state. So trying to just keep everything natural and fresh.
So tell me about why alkaline is so important to take in alkaline water.
Right. So it just naturally balances you, and we just try to avoid fluoride. Fluoride is also something that's pitched as healthy, like you're mentioning, and but it's just not actually that great to consume whatsoever. So we aim to get that out of our products.
That's good. That's good. You guys been sharing all this knowledge with your family and friends, and have you ever like just been going off on a tangent and you get that like stare back, that fluoride stare back?
Yeah, exactly. That glossed over look.
Yeah, so I've been trying to educate my parents, and especially since like seed oils and all these health issues are so prevalent, when I try to explain the carnivore diet to like my mom or dad, since they're so ingrained in this way of life, they're so shocked at how my diet of just meat and fruit. And I tell them I'm thriving, and I show them like Carnivore MD and Sean Baker. And it's funny, my mom at first was so skeptical. And then I send her some Carnivore MD videos, and she's like, wow, this dude looks amazing. Like, he just turned 46 years old. Like, he clearly is up to something with the health. So I definitely think it's challenging to explain to someone like this way of life, but it's definitely rewarding to get someone to adopt, because you know their health's just going to improve, and all their, any ailments they have will go away.
Exactly. I mean, these are people we love, and it's one domino at a time. Absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing though. Like, it's unfortunate, but like you can bring a horse to water, you can't force him to drink though. Like,
yeah, exactly.
A little bit. We're making progress.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So that's what our mindset was like. Instead of just telling everyone, we said just try to lead by example and just make compelling products that maybe they don't even know, all the backstory and the reasons why. But if they just use our products and just firsthand experience for themselves the difference, or go through our ebooks and try what we're suggesting, and if they feel those improvements, then that's a win. So.
Yeah, and another thing to mention is we actually have a Balm bod workout guide, and then we also have a surf sustenance cookbook, both written by Troy. And I just wanted to mention Troy's book is very good. Like, I suggest everyone that is watching read it. I've been working out with Troy and following this like plan and diet, and I put on around like 12 pounds of muscle over a 4-month period, like pretty healthy muscle. And so I just encourage everyone to take a look at the book, like get into health and fitness. You'll really enjoy it. So
yeah, the body's a system, and that's the point of the book, is to not just focus on like do this for this reps and that's it. You know, check out in the gym, you're done. It's like, no, the aesthetic clock is always on, and you can never punch out. So it's kind of like a holistic approach to really everything. You've got sleep, hormonal optimization, lifestyle, mindset, workout, food, things in modern society that are endocrine disruptors and just not good for your general aesthetic journey. So it kind of touches on everything there. And that was the goal of the book.
Yeah, Mateo, you had a great post on like aesthetics matter. I've really been starting to adopt that mindset. Like if you live an aesthetic life, like your life will naturally become easier because you look good, you're clearly healthy. People naturally have more respect for you and will give you more opportunities. So it's definitely the best way of life.
Yeah, that was for those of you guys who don't know, I just made a story post saying why aesthetics are so important. And basically what I said was, once you bombard your brain and your psyche with images of beauty and aesthetics and like fitness and like actual beautiful things, you're going to be like naturally looking for them. You're going to gravitate towards those things. But like on the flip side, you're also going to be like completely averse to the ugly, to the lazy, to the whole like side of things that don't serve you. And
right.
If you are constantly taking in and like all this aesthetic stuff, and then you're living a pathetic lifestyle, you're gonna have that cognitive dissonance. It's gonna be a bitch to live with. So you're gonna have to have a choice. And so I think that's one of the best things you can do is follow Based Balm, for instance. Like all their posts are super aesthetic, and like all these other like accounts that are just constantly bombarding like health, fitness, and then just aesthetics. So actually, you guys have a very funny series. You guys are talking about like, is this aesthetic? Is this pathetic? And you guys covered, what was it, cast iron skillets, and what was it, straws?
Yeah, straws, sushi, IPA, salads. What else have we touched on? We got some more in the queue, but yeah, we started doing the aesthetic series, just kind of looking at things from a aesthetic perspective, not just like for your health, but just in general, like lifestyle and what works and what doesn't. It's a pretty fun series we started.
Yeah, it's a good series. It's funny, and I mean it's super important. It carries over because you stop using straws, and then other people will stop using straws. It's good for the environment, save the turtles, but also
turtles.
Also plastics, dude. Like something that people overlook all the time, like BPA, like it's now known as a huge endocrine disruptor, but PPA is just like one of 40 of these compounds in plastic. So they just because they like banned one doesn't mean that the 39 just magically like don't hurt you anymore. Like just avoid all plastic. You guys are drinking out of glass, you guys are drinking out of ceramic, I'm drinking out of stainless steel. Like especially the things like the vessels for your food, that's something you for sure should plastify, whatever, but
desoify or something.
Desoify, yeah. But yeah, I mean it's crazy how much plastic, like your food is wrapped in plastic. Like it's crazy. Like this stuff leaks into your food. The little microplastics are in your gut and in your water supply. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it does not help your aesthetic journey. If you picture yourself like a storefront throughout your life, like you are showing your storefront. It's like a life of just like your first impression is everything. So it's not just like yourself aesthetically, but just the life and the world around you. It's very important to just keep in mind like what works, what makes you feel good.
Right. Exactly. And what would you say is one of those aesthetic like pillars or lessons that you learned like very recently, like within the last month or so, that you just adopted and you're like, okay, this is moving the needle more than I thought it would?
See, as of recently, what have we gotten into? Cast iron's a big one. I mean, that's just a given. Like we just did that video the other day, and a lot of people that are health conscious are still using these like coated pans, and so we're just trying to cast iron pill all of our friends. Like, yes, they're heavy and expensive, but they're just awesome. Yeah, that's probably the recent one for us, and also cutting out IPAs because they're pathetic, not aesthetic. Yeah, so that was another one. What else?
Also eating off bamboo boards. For some reason, I just love it.
Aesthetic, yeah.
It's just not plastic. It's healthy. It looks aesthetic. It looks great. Having a nice steak on a bamboo board's nice. But yeah, it's just trying to just pick out the little things we're doing bad and just replace the pathetic things with aesthetic things is all part of the journey.
Aesthetically speaking.
Of course, that's the most anabolic thing you could do for sure.
100%.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, let me try to think something recently. I've been just eating like spoonfuls of coconut oil. That's something I started doing.
Really? Nice. Do you oil pull?
Yeah. Well, no, not yet. I've heard of it. You want to go into oil pulling so people at home?
It's just kind of like essentially you put virgin olive oil or coconut oil in your mouth, and it has a much better like antibiotic and health effects in your mouth without disrupting your natural biome. Kind of the same approach as wave wash, but instead of just having something that's scorching your natural biome, it's good and bad bacteria in your mouth. And most of these like oral health products just bleach both. And then so you're starting from fresh and destroying your natural state of your oral health. So just sort of natural take on things.
Yeah. So I've just been swallowing it. I've just been taking because I need to.
That works too.
Calories. Yeah, dude. So as far as Based Balm is going, like how did you guys settle on the ingredients, and how is your like supply chain? Like how's it going? How's your orders going? Like how's business since you guys started? Like tell me about your business journey.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. I mean, first we just wanted to go with the most like nutritious ingredients. We just want to make the best balm ever. We didn't want to make like the best balm given this, given that. We just want to make the best product possible. So we really selective on what we put in. We wanted to see like, is any of these, like we had some other ingredients, like some people might react to certain things. So we want to keep the most like plain, generally acceptable, just highly nutritious ingredients. So it took us some time to settle on it. It took us like maybe probably 3 to 4 batches to get all the ratios right. So it's smooth, keeping it dense, not whipping it, right? Like some other products are whipped, which actually makes it way less dense. We chose to keep ours more dense. You just get more product per jar. Just a couple of things. Took us like probably 4 batches to sort of figure out the right ratio.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and also so far we do most of the work our own, but we do have people that have been helping out now. And so we're just expanding our product line, we're expanding our content and going on different social media platforms. So we're just kind of building it up right now. But it's been great. It's been really fun to work on. And it's a nice switch up from leaving the consulting world. So it's really fun.
Yeah, dude, that's great. And what have your customers been saying? I know I left a good review, but I saw some pretty interesting like life changes.
Yeah, so one of the best things so far is we've had multiple people that have experienced eczema for years of their life, which is a really painful thing to have. And so one of my friends, he used to have, or well, still up until once he started taking Based Balm, he basically had topical steroids, which is terrible for your skin to try to alleviate the symptoms. And after a week of constant application, he said all of his eczema symptoms have decreased. His skin feels really smooth, and even like his family and girlfriend have noticed. So that's just great. Like we've already created a product that has been shown to help people. So that's great. And so far the reviews have been really positive. Do you have any other ones?
Yeah, like one of my good friends, he was starting to get some wrinkles, late 20s, it happens. Yeah. But then he started putting it on, and he said they literally just vanished, and now he's getting ID checked again and stuff. So so it's good to see. That's
great, dude. I mean, yeah, you guys made a hell of a product. I'm almost about done because I keep sharing it with my buddies. It's so I'm gonna have to order another one. But you guys like this.
Hey, we'll get you some more.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Like it was great. I did a river float for the 4th of July. The whole time everyone got burnt, but I'm just throwing this on my face, and I 100 like honestly, like I feel like this is beef tallow. I have yet to do research, but I'm pretty sure like the ancient Romans and like people from all over, that's like the best thing you can just throw on. It takes 2 seconds, and then you're just out and about, just crushing life.
Yeah, it's a power packed ingredient. There's like 14 essential skin nutrients in beef tallow alone. That's just one of the 7 ingredients in Based Balm. But it's like the same pH as your skin. It's like kind of mimics your natural sebum production, so it just goes really well on pretty much all skin types we've seen so far.
Yeah, it's super versatile. Also, I've been cooking with it a lot, and honestly, there's a noticeable improvement in the taste of all my food, especially like steak and potatoes cooked in beef tallow. It's so good.
Dude, I don't know if you guys know this, but potatoes are the most satiating food of all time. Like of all the foods you have, like if you want to get filled up, it's you just throw in some potatoes, you get full. So like that's probably the most aesthetic dish you could have, just like meat and potato.
Anabolic.
In the cast iron, beef tallow, butter. You gotta try Miss Dash Chipotle Southwest seasoning. That on potatoes is it's gas.
Some Amish butter.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right. Well, those are all the questions I had. Again, you guys crushed it with this product. Keep up with the series, the aesthetic and pathetic. That's gonna help. Well, people just don't know. So, really appreciate your time, and I'll see you guys again. Either you guys come back up to DC or I'll go back down.
Yeah, you gotta visit the beach again.
Yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
All right, man. Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for having us.
For sure, bro. It was good talking to you.
You too. See you soon.
Peace.
Peace.